So welcome into your Buckeye Rush Hour for a Friday, football freaking Friday, October 20th, 2023. Welcome in, everybody. Get that chat popping as you come in, folks. Please don't forget to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Just helps the show grow, helps others find the show, and all of that. If you're listening on podcast, please don't be afraid to subscribe or follow the show, whichever app you're using. I appreciate that as well. And hey, share with a friend. Be Friendly Friday. So I greatly appreciate all the followers and your comments. The chat is going to be lively today. I'm sure we got a big game tomorrow against Penn State. As always, don't forget the BuckeyeCast.com. It's probably the best way you can support the show and get yourself some merch. Get yourself some swag, shirts, hats, hoodies. No, he shouldn't have. Anyway, long sleeve tees, jackets. You know, if there's something on there that you don't see but you would like, just hit me up. You can email me anytime if you have comments or questions or anything at joe@thebuckeyecast.com. You know that I always reply to everybody's comments, emails, everything, questions, and everything like that. But first, we got to get into this Harbaugh / Michigan story. This is smoking. This is on fire. What in the bloody hell? Why does Michigan have to do everything the weirdest possible way? Everything is weird up there. Look at Sean. He lives up there. Lives up in Detroit. Oh, damn it. Sean's calling in. All right. Hold on. I got to connect my headphones. All right, Sean's joining the show. Here we go. Sean, are you there?
I am here.
All right. Didn't know you were calling in. I would have been prepared. I had to put in my headphones. So shit.
There we go. You hear me?
Yep.
All right.
I was unprepared.
Yeah.
I didn't have my headphones in. I didn't expect visitors.
Yeah, it's on my way to pick up the kid from football, so I might have to duck out early, but yeah, I figured I'd hop on.
Great. Not a lot going on in the college football world. So if you got any topics you want to hit on, let me know. But
well, the big one up here is the big topic floating around up here.
A little bit. Is it a little bit?
Yeah, I haven't listened to a ton of it, just a little bit. But yeah, it's I love it when those assholes are looking like assholes.
Why is everything so weird up there?
I know. And I'm not saying that's why we lost the last two games, but any Michigan fan I talk to, I'm going to say that's why. So yeah, you got her fucking place.
Exactly. Funny how they went 2-4 in 2020. Then suddenly since 2021, they turned it around, like did a 180, another 32-3.
It makes you wonder. And then since they don't play or know who they're going to have in postseason, and they lose every postseason game. Yep. Which is a little bit strange because they haven't had a chance to fucking do this shit to those teams that they play in the postseason.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it helps. I don't know if it don't, but it's certainly interesting.
It's definitely interesting. And this is what happens when you want to play hardball with the NCAA hairball.
Shut up. Michigan's the cleanest program ever to exist.
I know. And Harbaugh will tell you that. He'd be the first to tell you that. And he will call.
They don't do that shit like they do down there in Columbus.
That's right. Yeah. Harbaugh will tell you how clean they are. But if you
I was on their MGO Bog, I was on their board today, and they're like, yeah, Ohio State pays their players. Yeah, everyone does.
Hello.
I love it. I love it.
23, man. Yeah. So let me run through a little bit of details. I'm not sure if everybody's aware of some of the info. So the NCAA, obviously, they were investigating Jimmy for the hamburgers. No big deal there, really. But then when you bring them into your building, they're going to look at everything. And I think this is a circumstance of that further investigation. They're like, oh, well, let's just turn over every stone here, see what we can find. And maybe somebody at the NCAA over in Indianapolis has a hard on for Jimmy. I don't know. But so the allegations are off-campus, in-person scouting of future opponents in the same season is prohibited. And also if they use like electronic communications, like video recorders or any recording devices, and then communicate that, that's another different bylaw, apparently. So NCAA announced that, and then the Big Ten released their statement. So this is an issue that has been.
What did the Big Ten say? I actually haven't heard that. What was the Big Ten statement?
They just released a statement on Thursday. It said, quote, the Big Ten Conference has notified Michigan State and future opponents. The Big Ten Conference considers the integrity of competition to be of utmost importance and will continue to monitor the investigation. The conference will have no further comment at this time.
Wow, that's pretty
strong stuff.
I mean, well, I did see the thing where Michigan State was thinking, and I kind of wish they would have, because how Michigan wouldn't play us, but was thinking, yeah, they might not play them. The players don't feel safe. We're not sure we want to do this.
Exactly.
It'd be so awesome if Sparty said, nah, we're not doing it this year.
Yeah, we're good. We're going to sit this one out.
That would be the biggest Sparty win ever. That would be so fucking
right. You're giving them a middle finger, and you got an out. You got a way out that, people
say we don't play with dirty programs.
That's right. Yeah, you take the high road. So yeah, the scheduled opponents, like upcoming opponents thing, and possible college football playoff opponents are who they've been monitoring or scouting. They're gathering information on the signs they use to call offensive and defensive plays. But this is not news around the Big Ten, according to some of the articles I read today. Big Ten opponents have been aware of an elaborate scheme, and they know about this Michigan assistant that's at the center of it. Now, this guy.
Well, what can you prove? I mean, everyone's trying to do it, and everyone is doing it to an extent. Right. I think this is probably going to come into like a gray area. He knew he was doing shit wrong. And actually being in the stands, I mean, that's not a gray area. That's the rule. It's probably a stupid fucking rule, but that's the rule. And they broke it, and they knowingly broke it.
Yeah, apparently. So it looks like there's a very thin line between what Brent Venables and Clemson was doing, back in 2019, 2020. They were stealing signs supposedly in game. Or that happens all the time, in-game sign stealing. But this
that's why you got all the different colored shirts down there, and everybody's making fake hand signals.
Yeah, you got three guys putting in signs, to the quarterback. So, but yeah, so this was a next level, like, recording video, it looks like, and just strictly scouting ahead. You can't do that, So this guy, Connor Stallions, sounds like an 80s porn star, man. This guy, he's at the center of this investigation. The NCAA confiscated his computer. He has since.
Did they get it? I heard they requested it. Do they have it?
I think so. I assume so. If the NCAA asks for it.
Because they don't have any power. That guy can say, fuck off. You're not police.
Yeah, but that probably doesn't look good to the investigators, You start withholding evidence. It seems like you're guilty then. So this guy was in constant communication with the full-time assistants, the OC, DC around him. He's constantly whispering to them, as the opposing offense broke the huddle. There's a quote from a Big Ten coach. He said, quote, these guys go on anonymity, of course. They won't put their name out there. Pussies. He said, this Stallions guy spearheads the operation. He said, I once told Stallions, we know the kind of shit you're doing, and it's fucked up. So this coach confronted Stalions, probably pregame, postgame, whatever. And then multiple Big Ten staff members have identified Stalions as Michigan's sign stealing guru since this investigation's come to light. So he joined Michigan staff in spring of 2022 as a recruiting analyst. I think he was maybe an unpaid intern prior to that, because this stuff started in 2021.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he probably had to prove himself, and then he's like, all right, we beat Ohio State, put this fucker on the payroll.
Exactly. Yeah. And another Big Ten coach said, we were told to be careful because they had a guy who could pick plays. It was too late in the week to change our signals, but another staff did tell us about Stalions. So stealing an opponent's sign during a game or even from television broadcasts is common in college football, and it's not against any rules. But the NCAA's investigation is more focused on how Stalions gain the information on their opponents to learn their signals and stuff. So it was more than just watching them on TV, which you can't see signs on TV. You might pick a handful if you're lucky, but
I'm guessing that they're somehow getting film and they're seeing all the decoy, all the signs that are going on. You put that in a spreadsheet, run it through an algorithm, and you're like, all right, here's the data. You're basically code breaking. And I don't know if that was just a meme, but I saw something. I know he's ex-military, but someone saying, was he a code breaker? Like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know what he
was. Yeah, I think he went to the Naval Academy. So the combination of video footage and in-person recordings are the issue here with both Stalions. So again, this news of sign stealing has spread enough that multiple Michigan opponents this season have dropped its signaling and have just gone to wristbands only. And much of the offensive play calling during the game so the offense is using wristbands, defense is not in some games. Ohio State staff members knew of the issue ahead of their game against Michigan last year. So the staff changed things up a little bit before the game to combat this sign stealing issue.
Oh, damn. I wish we wouldn't have admitted that. I'd rather say, nice. Yeah, they stole all our stuff. It's the only way they can beat us.
Yeah. Yeah. Word is spread to so many Big Ten schools that they thought Michigan staff members were in attendance at one of their games earlier in the season capturing signals. And then a few weeks later, in a game, the same team called the game mostly using wristbands. However, some plays were signaled in, and on those specific plays, staff members spotted Stalions either signaling into the game or gesturing to another assistant. So this guy was telling the coaches what's coming once the other team started using hand signals. This one coach said that of the team that I don't know why these guys don't put their names out there, but anyway, he said that as soon as we flashed something, he knew it right away. You could go through the film and you start seeing a trend of certain coverages versus run and pass. They're getting into the best looks you can get into. So, and then today, Stalions is suspended with pay, though. So still on the staff, not fired, not fired. And of course, Harbaugh, you probably heard his statement, not really a denial that it happened, just a denial that he's involved.
This just is another nail in that coffin. Harbaugh, he gone. Yeah. After this year, he gone.
Yeah. Definitely going to be a busy offseason of interviews with the NFL. Have you heard anything from Valenti or any of the local guys up there in Detroit?
A little bit yesterday, but no, nothing intriguing. And then I was tied up and didn't really get to hear much. But it's, I don't know, because you got half the slappies on that 97 won the ticket or big time Michigan fans. Some of them think it's nothing. It's just the NCAA is always out to get Michigan and Harbaugh. other Michigan fans on there, they're like, this just could look really bad. And if it goes, and if it looks and turns out that it's so bad, now you're talking, is it potentially vacating Big Ten championships and wins and seasons and things like that? This is different because you're affecting the competition of the game. It's not cheating, like recruiting cheating, big deal. You get fines and stuff. This is the integrity of the game. And I don't know where it'll fall. I mean, to me, it sounds minor a little bit, like the rule probably, I think, should be updated from 94.
Right.
And on top of that, they ought to put fucking mics in the quarterback's head. You know, I mean, come on, college football.
Yeah. But yeah, they've complained so long that not every school would be able to afford it or shit.
Every fucking D1 school can afford it.
Exactly. It can't be that expensive anyways. I mean, come on.
Yeah, like headset, two-way radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always wonder about that though. It's like, well, could somebody, I mean, the government can listen in on tap stuff. Like, could the other team be listening to your calls as you're saying them? That would be even worse to me. I was worried about that. Yeah. Wasn't there a scandal about that where they thought someone had a feed into the other team's headset?
I would point the finger at Bill Belichick and the Patriots first in any of that stuff. I mean, That's just my default move. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was happening, especially I think it was at away games for one team or something. They would go into one stadium and everybody would have trouble with their communications or their shit would get hacked. Yeah, in the NFL. But yeah, I mean, well, you could use another one of these ex-military guys for that kind of recon too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
There's got to be a bunch of them out there, some black ops guys.
Yeah, well, I saw some meme out there that had Harbaugh on them, the new Scout Team 6, you know, all dressed up.
Nice. Yeah, so I don't know where to land
a shit show. I mean, yeah, the best thing that would happen is probably a nothing burger at the end of the day, some gray area, slap on the hand. That guy's not coming back. You knew the rule, broke it. Harbaugh will be gone at the end of the year, and that'll be that, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But please, Sparty, don't play him tomorrow.
I know. They should just walk out, like all show up to the field at game time and then just turn around and walk out.
Or walk in street clothes and signs. We don't feel safe.
Yeah. Lay their jerseys on the field.
Oh, man, let me be the AD of Michigan State. We wouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
Imagine if everybody the rest of the year is like, nah, we're not playing these guys.
It would be awesome if all the teams came together.
Michigan goes 6-0. Sorry, not enough to make it to the
yeah. That would put the Big Ten offices in a bind, wouldn't it?
Well, I mean, they always move slow, but I mean, what if something happened like, okay, you know, when Meyer came in and it's like, guess what? Finish your year, whatever. This kid's got to be fired, but you're no postseason this year. No Big Ten championship, no playoffs for you. That's that.
Yeah. I got no problem with that.
I don't got a problem with that either.
Yeah. So the one thing I do wonder is if the NCAA is really going to push this one after Jimmy lied to the investigators, you know, and they had the other computer hacker guy, Weiss, you know, everybody forgets about that guy trying to read people's emails. You know, do they keep looking? Do they keep digging? And then do they find something worse than all this? You know, they're probably leafing through the entire NCAA rule book looking for shit. Can we get them on this? Can we get them on this? You know, as long as it doesn't like affect the future players going forward, where they start to rip like scholarships and stuff like that. I don't. That's where I think that goes too far for one coach's, you know, greed or whatever. If they start taking scholarships from the future teams, I think that's
you're punishing earlier kids for the shit the other kids did. Or other coaches. I'm not for that. But does something like this, this investigation is going to go on, right? So what if it's all up in the air and we're not going to know anything till the off season? What does this do to Michigan recruiting? Hey, I don't know if these guys might not be bowl eligible next year or whatnot. I don't want to go there. And I wonder how that's all going to shake out.
It can't be helpful, I wouldn't think, when you to have multiple pending investigations. They're still working on that fucking recruiting thing,
I mean, that should be done by now. Come on, NCAA.
Right.
Yes, they bought cheeseburgers. They weren't supposed to be there, and fucking Harbaugh lied about it. Give the fine, whatever you're doing, and let's fucking move on. Unless there's something that they're not telling us. But I mean, why does everything have to take forever with these assholes?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, they tried to say that the 3-game suspension was enough. No, it's not enough. We want 4. And there was that back and forth with Michigan and the NCAA trying to agree on proper punishment for Harbaugh. And I don't think they ever arrived at a number. He just took the 3 games, this year.
Yeah, that was self-imposed.
Right.
Yeah.
So the NCAA still hasn't come back and said, okay, we'll accept that, or no, we think you need 1 more or 5 more, So
don't coach the last 3 games: Maryland, Penn State, and Ohio State. Don't coach those 3.
Yeah.
Actually, we're probably better off when he is coaching, frankly. I don't think he's a good in-game coach.
Yeah.
Unless he knows your plays.
Yeah. When he's got somebody whispering in his ear, he's a really good coach. Let's check on the chat here, and then we're going to get into some Penn State talk. Stephen Cherry is the first in the room today. What's up, Stephen? He says, go Buckeyes beat Penn State. Also love seeing the cheaters up north sweat. That's right. Billy says, is Vegas giving odds yet on whether or not Harbaugh will be coaching in Michigan next year? That's a good question. Better question is are the casinos going to actually take odds on Michigan games? That's a real thing. They talked about there's rumors that the casinos will pull the Michigan games off their boards.
Well, I mean, do now that this guy's suspended, and I don't know if the damage has already been done and he's already been to Buckeye games or whatever, and I don't know if in this vast network, I mean, we don't know what that means yet.
Right.
But do the lines change and come down now if it's known that, hey, this was really, really helping them, and now it's not going to? Be interesting. He probably didn't get down to Bowling Green.
No, probably didn't need to. Would have been worth it, right?
But I mean, it is such a coincidence that postseason he loses every time.
Yeah,
because he doesn't know he's going to play postseason.
Yeah, I think he learned from that and started sending old stallions out to scout the CFP teams, the likely teams, this year. So maybe he's been to some Georgia games, Bama games.
I'm wondering if that's what the vast network is. Like the Stallions runs it, but there's a group of dudes that all go to, all go to these games.
But they aren't on staff like he is. Just his buddies, a little hired mercenary work.
Yep.
Billy says, Sean, have you been stealing Michigan signs for us?
I have not.
Oh, see,
I have not.
Sorry, Billy.
Not that I'll admit.
Odysseus says, I knew 2 and 4 to that 180 was due to cheating. Yeah, we all saw that. He says, Hairball is mooning the NCAA with a red flag like it's a bull. PC, how do y'all go Bucks? What's up, PC? Buckeye 7084. A few weeks ago, I suggested OSU's fastest player return punts and kicks. I wasn't meaning Marvin as in spring training. It was suggested Ballard was the fastest straight line player. Yeah, he didn't do much with it. Ballard didn't. Good. PC says, good to see Sean in the house. Are you in the house?
I am in the hizzy.
All right. Odysseus says OH. Billy says IO. We say IO.
IO.
PC says, I've been saying since spring 2, no way should Emeka be back there. Ballard is a Blazer. Odysseus says, I'll be interested to see if Sparty covers. Yeah, everybody's going to be paying attention to that game. Buckeye 7084 has his prediction in for the Buckeye game, 31-13. All right, I will jot that down in a moment. Billy says, if the sports books stop handicapping Michigan games, will that mean there's fire behind the smoke? Well, there's some fire. I mean, it's definitely a fire. It's just how big a fire, you know? Is it a sparkler or is it an M80?
You were doing something illegally to gain an advantage. What advantage did you gain? What was it worth in points? And that's what Vegas has to figure out. How many points was what you guys were doing worth? Because it was worth something.
Right. So sorry, continuing with the chat here. Jeremiah says, just win, baby. Let's go, Bucks. That's right. Odysseus says, I have a defensive sledge match where McCord does to Penn State what he did to Notre Dame. Okay. Odysseus has 17-14 Buckeyes. We'll copy that down.
I could see that. I think it's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little too aggressive with my prediction last Sunday night. PC agrees. He says, yeah, I'm seeing a very similar game to Notre Dame, dirty ground and pound. Odysseus says, could Team Up North be wiretapping signals? Wiretapping, like the headsets? I wouldn't rule that out, especially when teams are coming into Ann Arbor. Seems like that's very likely.
Right. I mean, they've got, what are they using? Like closer. I mean, any of that stuff can be listened to, right? It's like CB Ray.
You'd think so.
I don't know. I mean, the government has secure lines. Maybe it's got to be. Coaches are not going to take the chance that shit could be heard. It's got to be some serious security behind that.
Exactly. At least they're told there's security behind it. You know. And
I'll bet you there's a guy that has those jobs that goes in there and makes sure. And someone's job is to make sure that that's secure. Well, probably from each program.
Yeah, probably.
Their IT guy or whatever, like make sure that's on a closed circuit or whatever. And it's only these 5 headsets. That's all, anyone that can hear anything. Yeah, it has to be done that way. PC says rock fight, knife fight in a phone booth, whatever you want to call it, low scoring. Billy says bet on it, LOL. Odysseus says think it was Shiano. Yeah, Shiano did have a nice little interview there at halftime of the Rutgers Michigan game. Billy says whether Michigan is stealing signals legally or not, how could Harbaugh not know they have the signs? That's an excellent point. Pam Mills, welcome in, Pam. She says that Michigan is saying Ryan Day is the snitch, LOL. That confronted Stallions. Oh, I'm reading their boards. They're like, yeah, just because we're kicking their ass, these guys are whining or whatever. Michigan, get over yourselves. You're the cleanest program in the history of football. Come on, act like it.
Yeah. Billy says that Bud Elliott of the Cover 3 podcast thinks everybody should be cheating. All right. Me and Bud Elliott are on a not speaking basis, mostly because.
Well, I think you should walk right up to the rules and use the rules to the maximum benefit that you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think most teams do, especially Power 5. I mean, if you're not pushing the envelope, then you're not trying, right? And I think that's like what Venables was doing, at Clemson, pushing the edge of the envelope, but maybe he crossed it, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Maybe nobody told on him.
I was thinking it was more like Sparty and like you said, Rutgers possibly.
Yeah.
But like you said, I feel like there's a few more teams that are like, yeah, this shit's been going on with these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's just one school backing up this story in the Big Ten.
Well, where did it originate? Did a school tell the NCAA that this stuff's going on, or did the NCAA, come across this on their own? Or they get reports and then they kind of look into it and then they're like, oh, there is something here.
Yeah, I from what I heard through the media, this is kind of a rumor that's been going on for a while, but I don't know how the NCAA found out. Yeah, I'm sure at some point we'll get more information after, in 5 years when they complete the investigation. But
right.
I don't think they're going to give us much to go. I think
I did see one funny thing. He's suspended with pay. They're like, so we'll see him on the sidelines again in 26.
Probably.
After the investigation's over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just I can't. Well, looks like no rain tomorrow on C-Bus, according to Buckeye 7084. That sounds good. But yeah, I just back to your point, Sean, about Harbaugh jumping ship. Stephen Cherry in the chat says the same thing. He says Harbaugh is going to pull a Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, I think 100%. So I'm hoping that, this can go one of two ways. This can kind of get in their head, distract them. And, they're still a good team. They're going to win their games, but do they drop one to Penn State and not play us as tough? Or do they rally around this and, now they're pissed off and playing mad? We'll see how it goes. But if it gets more and I feel like it is, and local radio is talking about it, that Harbaugh will be gone. He's not going to put up with more of this bullshit. Then does the team, does the coach lose the players, or do the players lose the coach, type of thing?
Yeah. At what point does the team get tired of this shit? Like,
right.
It's one thing to rally around your coach, but it's like all the time. It's like nonstop bullshit, But
your coach also at like every chance can't wait to get back out of there. Goes on every interview.
Right. I don't know how the players are maintaining with this freaking guy. Odysseus says that's how they did CJ, how they did what they did to CJ in our offense. No one else could, especially those second halves. It's a good point. They did seem to have some second half adjustments.
Well, I was thinking also on, was it the first game? The one game we basically kicked their ass except for 5 plays they had that were over 50 yards on us. And then I'm wondering, I'd have to go back and look at the plays, but did we have a linebacker safety blitzing on that side or something? And then they exposed it because they knew that this linebacker's coming for sure. And it makes me wonder. Like I said, I'm not using it as a crutch or saying anything, but boy, I think about it now. I just thought we got our ass kicked before, and I thought it was our defense's fault. Maybe it still was, partially is. But if you're calling plays when you know that this guy's coming in through this gap or something like that, easy pickings for these athletes.
Right. Yeah, I think it's much easier when you know what's going to happen ahead of time, right? I mean, no matter if it's offense, defense, if you know where a guy or a player is going to be when you snap the ball, that really helps.
It's just like the Astros sitting on fastballs. If those pro hitters, if they can just sit on fastballs, they will kill you.
Right.
So to me, it's kind of the same. You know what's coming.
Yep, exactly. Let me polish off the chat here before we get into some Penn State discussion. PC says, to quote great poetic influencers, House of Pain, it ain't a crime if you don't get caught. LOL. Good one, PC. Odysseus says, even Georgia, whose D is better, couldn't slow down CJ without taking out Marv. It's a good point. They did not cheat properly, like Michigan. I added that last part. PC, this is pocket glizzy hairballs last season with Team Up North. Stephen Cherry, Buckeyes over Penn State, 40-24. Game not going to be as close as people think. Okay. Steven out there on a limb all by himself. Doug Shepard, welcome in, Doug. Good to talk to you.
No, I feel like he is. Every time we think it's going to be high scoring, it's a slugfest, and I could see it going that way.
If the weather cooperates, yeah, I agree. Earlier in the week, I heard reports of rain and stuff like that. So, I was thinking a little bit tighter game, more of a run, back and forth run game. But yeah, if there's no weather influence at all, then I feel good about the Buckeyes moving the ball. Doug Shepard says it's infinitely easier to play defense if you know the play ahead of time. Exactly. Odysseus, the Harburglar, is saying he knew nothing. I have oceanfront property in Arizona, if you buy that. Billy says, you're my hero, Steven. Badass Buckeye. What's up, Bab? It's not cheating if it's public information, crying over spilled milk. All right. That's one point of view.
It's cheating because it's the rule. I'm not saying it's even wrong. Like
Yeah.
I said, I think the rules should probably be updated and changed, but it's cheating because that's the rule.
Right. If it's still in the rule book, you kind of have to go by the rules. Just like there are some stupid laws out there, that we have to abide by. So technically you could get pulled over for going 5 miles over the speed limit. But do you typically? No, probably not, unless you're in Tiffin. PC says, I hope you're right. I have a feeling in that direction too, but I have a hard time convincing myself of that. Doug says, is there any truth to a former Marine was involved in stealing transmissions? I don't know about the Marine bit. I don't remember which branch he was in.
He was a Marine. He was a Marine, and I don't know if he got the sergeant or some, whatever rank he was.
Yeah.
But he may have went to the Naval Academy because the Marines are under the Navy, actually, the branches out. Yeah. So that could be.
Billy says it'd be funny if Michigan doesn't cover tomorrow. Doug says Harbaugh's trying to get another NFL job. I can't get one because he's so weird. That's a legit point. PC says, I honestly don't know why that's illegal shit. We can all see the signs. If you're good enough to be able to decipher them, then more power to you, I say. All right. That's another point of view.
Yeah, but I don't love you having cameras and documenting everything on my sideline. When we're not playing you and all the things that's going on back there, a lot of information going on back there. I don't feel like that should be, it is, it's on air, it's on the TV channel and you see bits and pieces of it, but to have the whole thing put together, just viewing our sideline, if that's what it was, that ain't cool.
Right. I agree. Billy says, who would hire Harbaugh in the NFL? The Bears? Question mark.
Yeah, there's a couple shit jobs coming open.
Oh yeah, there always is.
And what else did I say? The Bears, someone else, Raiders maybe. And then someone else set up on the local, possibly San Diego.
Okay. Well, he likes the West Coast. Mike says they've been cheating since they beat us. I agree. Doug says buying the kids something to eat shouldn't be illegal, but if you allow that, SEC schools would be gifting restaurants. Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's not that it's illegal. I mean, that is no big deal. Everyone knows that. He lied about it. That's the same thing with Tressel. What the shit that happens was no big deal. The cover up and lying is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's the Michigan thing. Oh, buying cheeseburgers, that's what we do. We're so bad. No, everyone knows. Big deal. Everyone does that. We self-report it like, yeah, we had these kids bought us cheeseburgers. You guys really say, no, we didn't do this shit. They're like, yeah, you did. It's right. It's the cover up and the line. I don't know what people don't get about that. Like we get that it's not bad to buy cheeseburgers. We get that it's not bad to try and get your opponent's signals, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about breaking the rules and lying about things and covering it up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you throw out the rule book, then what do you have? You got mass hysteria. So, all right, we got to move on to Penn State.
It's Vietnam all over again.
That's right. Fucking Nam. No fucking rules. Market zero, Smokey. Anyway, let's talk Penn State. We got about 20 minutes left here. So during the bye week, I wanted to dredge up this quote I'm not sure everybody heard it. During the bye week for Penn State, they had their offensive and defensive coordinators available to the media. During his Zoom call, Penn State defensive coordinator Manny Diaz was asked about preparations for tomorrow's game against Ohio State. One of his remarks was kind of interesting and went viral, of course. He said, quote, on Ohio State's, his early thoughts on Ohio State, quote, my opinions are absolutely very strong, and they're absolutely going to stay to myself. So it sounds to me like old Manholo is feeling confident about his defensive scheme against the Buckeye offense. You take anything out of that quote, Sean?
F the Diaz brothers.
That's right. Manholo.
No, I don't think I mean, he's fired up. I love it. I think they've got a legit team. They should be hyped and pumped. This is maybe that Oregon Washington game, but this is a huge game. It's expecting for a good one. Classic.
Yeah. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. Thank you very much. So, question marks for Penn State. I know that left tackle, let's look at their offense here first for a second. Olu Fashanu is supposed to be one of the top O linemen taken in next year's NFL draft. But multiple opposing coaches have said that they don't think Penn State's offensive line has lived up to its billing so far as one of the top units in the country. Yes, they've only allowed 4 sacks. But they've only rushed for 3.9 yards per carry in their 4 games against Power 5 opponents. Singleton and Katron Allen have been limited to 3.9. And then some teams have gotten hits on the quarterback, on Drew Aller, in one-on-one situations against their O-line. So the theory is, or the strategy is, you can use linebackers and your edge guys to bring pressure on early downs and keep the running backs from getting started, So if you stay in a base defense, they can probably find holes through that. But if you pressure them early, get them behind the chains and get them in some 3rd and long situations, that's like a death nail for a young quarterback like Aller, if you can shut them down early. Tight ends.
He only wants to throw underneath. They got a really low yards per pass. I think he doesn't like throwing it downfield.
Yeah. The tight ends are the keys here, right? I mean, that feeds right into quick passes to Theo Johnson, Tyler Warren. So those guys are keys in coverage. NFL scouts expect both of them to be drafted next year, like possibly in the first few rounds. So even though they
tight
may not
end's
have
the hot, sexy position anymore.
Yeah, and even though they might not have monster stats, they are effective when they are getting the ball. I will say though, going back to their running backs, they are the worst players on their team in pass protection. I'm talking really bad. I know that's typical for most teams. Your running backs are usually pretty, not bad, but typically average at best against pass protection. But Katron Allen is graded out on the season a 24.7. Remember, 60 is just doing your job, average.
You know what's going through my mind is a walk-off sack through the running back.
Well, we haven't seen that before. I don't know if I can't picture that, Sean.
Let's see that again. JT, do it.
Right. And then Nicholas Singleton is even worse. He's an 18.2.
Oof.
Yeah. So these guys allow some pressures. Where's Singleton here? Singleton has allowed 2 pressures. And yeah, just the 2 there. So that is one thing that Jim Knowles is going to have to scheme up. How do we get these guys in, these running backs, in pass protection situations? Obviously, bringing a linebacker, most likely on a blitz, is going to do that, or you run some twists, add a 5th rusher or something like that. So that seems like a weak spot for them on offense.
I'd said Tommy early and blast them, just to get them saying it's going to be a long day, boys.
Right. Yeah. Loosen their chicklets a little bit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now on the defense, their D tackles are soft. Let me run through these guys. They've swapped in a lot of guys here. So you got multiple guys with limited snaps, like 100, 120, 130. So Zane Durant, he's 6'1", 280. He's played 130 snaps. 280 is pretty light in the loafers.
It is, but that height though, probably good center of gravity. That helps him. If you're going to be 280, 6'1's nice. That's
but he's inconsistent in his grades against a run defense. Against Iowa, he's a 61.9. Against UMass, a 61.3. Against Delaware, 66.7. This guy's.
And what's doing your job? 60.
Yeah.
Basically, so average.
Yep. So I don't think that guy poses, and he doesn't pose any pass rush threat at all. He's averaging a 65 on the year. Hakeem Beeman, one of the other interior D linemen, he's 6'3", 284. So again, these guys are under 300 pounds by a bit. Mm-hmm. He's played almost 140 snaps. Run defense grade is averaging a 66.7 on the year. He just had a 55.8 against UMass last week. So
how can these guys be grading out as average when their defense is like otherworldly in the yards they allow?
Well, the other guys are getting the job done. The edge rushers, secondary linebackers, but I think the interior is their soft spot, and it's up to the Buckeyes to expose that. Devon Ellis, he's the last one here. He's actually 6'1", 300 pounds. He has 120 snaps. He's up and down. Last couple of weeks, he's been in the 70s against the run, but then the previous 4 weeks, he was 60, 62, 50, and 64 going backwards. So that is where the Buckeye offense needs to take advantage. Up the gut, move these little guys around. Obviously, you're going to have linebackers flowing down in the middle to support the tackles, but I think that's an open area. If we can get that running game going, up the middle. I know Trey likes to bounce everything outside, but maybe we need to pound the middle a little bit. Thoughts?
You there?
Yep. What do you think about that, John?
Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, getting a really weird connection from you now.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna jump back in real quick.
Okay. Let Sean pop back in here. Don't forget to get your scores in the chat to win the t-shirt contest. Remember, we go total points. So Sean's rejoining right now. So yeah, we go total points, winner, chicken dinner. Actually, you get a t-shirt. See if Sean's connected. He is muted. So looking at some of the other defensive grades I wanted to talk about. Coverage. We know where the pressures are coming from. Adisa Isaac, edge guy. Chop Robinson, of course, edge guy. Even their backup, Danny Dennis Sutton, is getting into the mix on the pressures. So are you there?
I'm back.
All right, he's back. Got it. So yeah, looking at some of the coverage grades here, and The secondary, we talked about some of this the other night on Sunday, but Kalen King, for all of his accolades that he gets and a lot of coverage, he's only grading at a 64 in pass coverage. He's one of their starting corners. You know, he hasn't allowed any touchdowns, but I think all the corners as a whole have only allowed one. Again, you know,
I mean, that whole team's only given up 120 yards a game through the air.
Yeah, exactly. Abdul Carter's another one, the linebacker. He's grading at a 64 in coverage.
Well, you know, I'm picking up on a pattern here. Maybe I should go to work for Michigan. You know, you're basically ripping off all kinds of guys that are doing average, basically right around like what they should be doing. And to me, that's telling me that's how you have a good defense. Everybody does their thing and is in that 65 range, and your defense is going to be solid.
Yeah. If you have others playing above average, you know, like Johnny Dixon, he's grading out an 80, the other corner. Safeties are grading out at DeLuca is an 86 in coverage. Keaton Ellis is a 76. So
wow.
Yeah. Pass rush. Obviously Chop Robinson. He's like the starter that gets the highest grades. He's at an 85 pass rush grade. Adisa Isaacs at 79. So these guys,
that's their ends.
Yeah. And then you got the other guy I just mentioned, Danny Dennis Sutton. He's got 161 pass rush snaps. He's a 79 as well. Abdul Carter, the linebackers, a 79. So the edge rushers and the linebackers are solid. But Kalen King is the one that Marv roasted last year for over 100 yards.
Well, I mean, they're going to have their hands full. I mean, if McCord can throw some accurate passes, you know, I like my guys against anybody in the country.
Yeah. O-line's going to have to get it together.
Oh, come on, boys. It is going to need to be it does. It makes me real nervous. I mean, you guys need to keep McCord comfortable back there. And he needs to have that confidence and have it early. If he's going to be in his head early, the O-line, that's my only concern, really.
Yeah. So keep Kyle clean, and you're going to have to blow some guys off the ball.
Speaking of, I guess we haven't got to Ohio State yet, but what's our running back situation this week? You got updates on that?
Yeah, Pam in the chat actually asked the same question. Pam's asking, do we get our guys back that were out last week? It sounded like Chip practiced Wednesday night, so he should be back. Trey and Dallin and Mayan. So the only one, who else is missing?
Pryor.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure on Mayan, but Trey, Chip, and Dallin for sure. Those guys.
All right, that's nice.
Yeah. Emeka, no word on him. Nobody saw him coming in from practice last night or Wednesday night, whenever it was. So he could have been out there and nobody saw him. So Emeka is the one that I'm concerned about.
Yeah, that is a big concern. I mean, because he just frees it all up. You know, he's such a safety valve and reliable. Yeah, that'll be a big mess.
Don't forget to hit the like button before you get out of here, folks. And then Denzel Burke, nobody saw him. So really hope he's in good shape. That would make our secondary much, much stronger.
What's wrong with Burke?
Oh, he left the game last week. He got rolled up on leg.
I don't love that either.
Yeah.
Who takes over for him then? Does Jordan Hancock go in and play that?
Yeah, or they slide Igbinosun over to Burke's position and Hancock takes Igbinosun's position. So either way, those two are your outside corners. Then I think you're safe to put in Sonny at the slot. You know,
Right. That's what I was thinking. Is that where he's going to go?
probably, especially Penn State likes to run a lot of 12 personnel with two tight ends. So I think you got to have Sonny in there most of the game. Sonny's in there to cover tight ends. Remember with the Georgia game last year.
Right.
So he's going to cover tight ends. If you have to put him on a receiver, fine, but you might want some safety help or something. So
no, he's the perfect guy for that. So then you'll have Ransom and Proctor back there still. Yeah. What about linebackers? Is it Ike and Chambers starting or is Simon?
Well, it seems like they're using Steele mostly in passing downs, but now Simon last week had like 13 more snaps than Steele. So Simon's more of your run beater, you know, your run defense linebacker. And who knows, if they come out in 12 personnel, you might even see 3 traditional linebackers on the field. You know, if they come out with a heavy line.
Get some Hicks in there, maybe.
Maybe. So, yeah. Seeing some requests for Jermaine Matthews. I don't know about that. I don't know if you want to throw a safety into this game when you got 2 healthy, good corners, experienced guys.
I would maybe default to Martinez there just because the experience. I know he's had his troubles through the years, but
that doesn't make me feel good either.
I'll take him over a freshman. It's been out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I really think that Tyleek is going to cause some problems up front, like he has all season. He's playing out of his mind, playing like complete games almost, minus a few snaps here and there. But I think Tyleek's going to be a game changer.
He can. He's getting close and he's getting there. Yeah, he's about to be that guy if he keeps his foot on the gas and keeps progressing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, their O-line is okay in their pass blocking grades. The guards are a 70 and a 69 grade. Center is a 66. So that's kind of your weak point. The 2 tackles. Olu Fashanu is a 93 against the pass. And then Hayden Wallace is a 76. So that's pretty solid. But you got to test him, obviously. I would like to see some Caden Curry in there occasionally, opposite of Jack or JT. I think you just let him go crazy in there. You know, just let him go off once in a while.
He's fun to watch. Just that motor. He's wound up.
Yep. Plays with his hair on fire. But yeah.
What's the line now? Did I hear it came down a little bit?
Oh, I know that over under did, but let me check on the actual line.
What did it open at?
4.5. Yeah. I got 5 now. Buckeyes by 5, over under 46.
Oh, so it's moving up. Wasn't it 44?
I saw 45 yesterday.
Oh.
It's kind of fluctuating all over.
I think when we made our predictions, it was 44 or 44 and a half or something.
Yeah, Sunday night it was 48.
Oh, that's good. I don't know.
How are you feeling about your predictions?
What was my prediction?
35-24.
Well, no, right after I made it that night, I just didn't want to be a wuss and renege on it. I'll make a new one today, but then you started talking, and I started thinking about these defenses. I'm thinking, oh, I may have overshot that. I'm sticking with it though. You got to go with your gut. That's what came to me. That's what I'm sticking with, but I can totally see the 17-14 type of game here.
If the weather cooperates, you might be on par.
Right. I mean, if it's a nice day, 55 in Columbus, it'll depend as long as the wind isn't howling.
Yeah.
And if the boys lose, but man, that's a big deal.
What do you think about the atmosphere for a noon game? You concerned?
Oh, the Scarlet out or
what
we're doing there?
Right. It's not a night game. So I like how every time Penn State comes to Columbus, it's not a night game versus when we go to Penn State, it is a night game. So nice little change of environments there helps them out.
I don't mind it though. That red will shine bright in the day. Scarlet.
You concerned
I
about
think it's going to be loud
fans
in
getting
too.
in there early and getting loud early?
I think they'll be in there early, and there's pluses and minuses to the early and late games. The fans might be a little louder late, but because they're drunk, they've been drinking all day. The noon game, you're just a little bit buzzed. You got to the tailgate at like 9 a.m. or so, and had a couple pops.
Yep.
I think they're going to be hyped. This is the biggest game of the year so far. What is it? 3 versus 5? What's Penn State? I don't even know the rankings right now.
3 and 6.
3v6. It's a big game. And this determines who goes on to the next round robin. Am I wrong?
No, that's definitely true. The question is, how many Michigan staffers will be recording at the game?
No kidding. Scumbags.
They're working on both teams. So
I know this would be they're like, damn it, they got brought up this week. We get both of them in the same house. These are really the two that we need to
could have saved money on tickets.
I'll bet they've already been to Buckeye and Penn State games.
Yeah. This one would have been a good barometer for them though, Yeah. All right. I got everybody's scores in the chat. I got Ryan Day's beard here. I almost forgot that one. Sorry. Yeah.
The kid's walking up to the car. All right, people. Go Buckeyes. I'm out.
All right, Sean. Take it easy. We'll talk to you Sunday night.
Peace.
Later. All right, folks, that about wraps it up. I appreciate everybody popping in. Hey, on your way out, please don't forget to hit the like button and make sure you subscribe. And don't forget the BuckeyeCast.com sale is going on, still going strong, site-wide. Check it out. It's the only way you can really support this program because YouTube has demonetized my channel. That's why you're not seeing any commercials and stuff like that. So I'm making zero money right now. So thanks, YouTube. We appreciate you. Not really, but so check out the BuckeyeCast.com. Get yourself a shirt, hat, whatever, hoodie, long sleeve tee. Anyways, I appreciate everybody joining me. Let's go beat some nits tomorrow. Go Bucks.